Hello, friends. It is so good again to see you this week. Thank you so much for joining me, Pastor Zach, for this week's children's sermon. I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed all the snow that we got. I hope that you were able to sled, maybe make some snow ice cream. Maybe you were able to have some hot chocolate. Maybe I hope it was a time that you were just able to play, to have some fun. So right now, like I always do, I hope you will find a quiet place in your house or at school, wherever you might be, to take a deep breath in with me. And then you take a deep breath out. Do that as many times as you need, because we remember that the Spirit moves in our breath. The Spirit moves with the wind. That the Spirit blows in our lives, through us, into each other, to share that good news, to share that love. And I'm so glad that you're here with me so that we can hear what God has in store for us today. Because God is doing something amazing. So I have to ask you a question before we get started. Have you ever gone fishing? Okay. I've gone fishing a couple times, and I just want to tell you about the two real quick. First time I was in middle school, we were at outdoor education. And it was this time where we get to learn different things, and it was the first time away from home. And everybody loved to go fishing. The fishing was like the best part, but on the last day, it started to rain, and that was when I was supposed to go fishing. But even through the rain, I got the rod and the reel, and I went out to the pier, and I put my fishing, I threw my fishing pole out there, the fishing line, and I caught nothing. Stood out there in the rain for probably 30 minutes to an hour, and I didn't catch anything, and I was really bummed. But then, a few years later, when I was in high school, I got to go fishing down in Florida, and I did catch a really big fish. It was a really big fish that I even got to eat afterwards. These are two stories, and I haven't gone fishing since these two. So if you ever want to go fishing, talk to me, and maybe we can figure it out. But there's so many ways that you can fish. You have some people who have fly fishing, who just put a little fly out on their reel. You have some people, and I was just in Minnesota with my wife Amy visiting her mom and her grandma and her sister and her uncle. And it was a cool time because out on the lakes, there are little shelters where they go ice fishing. They dig a hole in the ice of the lake, and then they put in their rod and they try to bob it up and down, and they try to catch something. Now that's really cold to me. I like being out in the sun, but I think it's so cool that people like to fish. And fishing is so important, and it was important in Jesus' day too, because that's how people ate. They ate the things that they were given, what God had given them. And they had a big sea, they had a big lake in their area. So people fished. They fished so that their families could eat. They fished so that they could get money to buy other things. And that's the story we have today. Let me read it to you. It's from Luke chapter 5, and it goes, "Once while Jesus was standing beside the lake, and the crowd was pressing in on him to hear the word of God, he saw two boats there at the shore of the lake. The fishermen had gone out of them and were washing their nets. And Jesus got into one of the boats, the one belonging to Simon, and asked him to put it out a little way from the shore. Then he sat down and taught the crowds from the boat. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, 'Put out into the deep water and let down your nets for a catch.' And Simon answered, 'Master, we have worked all night long, but have caught nothing. Yet if you say so, I will let down the nets.' When they had done this, they caught so many fish that their nets were beginning to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both boats so that they began to sink. But when Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, 'Go away from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man.' for he and all who were with him were amazed at the catch of fish that they had just taken. And so also were James and John, who were partners with Simon. Then Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid. From now on you'll be catching people." When they had brought their boats to shore, they left everything and followed Jesus. This is an amazing story, yes, of fishing, but how Jesus uses fishing as a metaphor, as a way to talk about how people will come to follow him. Jesus says you will now be catching people, that with good news, with love, with healing, with forgiveness, we can catch people up in the good news. That by sharing love, that's what it's all about. And interestingly, there's 3 amazing gifts in this story, because it's a story of Jesus, the gift giver. The first gift is that Jesus sits in their boat. How many times would we love Jesus to come right here, sit next to us in our cars, and teach us something? That's an amazing gift. But then it gets even better. There's so many fish that Jesus catches by telling them to put the nets in the water. That the nets were about to break because there were so much fish. An amazing gift. And then the third gift is that Jesus invites Simon, Peter, and James, and John to be disciples, to be with Jesus in real life, to walk with him, to be with him as he continues to share this good news. And friends, that's so amazing for us, because now Jesus invites us to partake of those gifts of love, of healing, of forgiveness, and to be able to share that with everybody. Not just the people who come into church on a Sunday, but people at school, people at the grocery store, people out on the baseball field or soccer field or softball field. That God is doing so many amazingly good things in your life and in mine. And sometimes it's hard to catch. Sometimes it's hard to see. But not all people are caught on the first throw or the second throw or the third throw. Sometimes it takes time. It takes persistence. It takes perseverance. It takes us to humble ourselves and just be patient. And we just keep inviting people into that love. God will do the work. That's the amazing thing. Through God's word, Jesus says, throw in the nets. And through Jesus' words, that's when the fish get caught up in those nets. God will take care of the rest. What God wants from us is to follow him, to share good news with those we encounter. God wants us to love and to forgive and to heal those. But God knows that the only way we can do that is if we receive it ourselves. That's why every week I tell you that you are loved and you are enough. Because that's a promise from God that God keeps telling us over and over and over again. And nothing can separate us from that promise. And that's why it's so good. We have to share that good news with others. And we share that by being disciples, by catching people, by sharing good news, by telling people they are loved and they are enough, by feeding the hungry, by offering clothes for those who don't have it, for the person who sits on the sideline to tell them to join your team. That's what God is all about. God is constantly sharing love for us so that we might be able to give it to others. And by you sharing love, God is working through you. That breath, that wind, that air that I spoke about earlier is being used through you. The Spirit is moving through you to bring good news, to bring gifts to others. Because the greatest gift we have been given is Jesus, who has come down to love us and be with us, to show us what God's love is all about. And friends, that's a gift that keeps on giving. A gift that started 2,000 years ago and continues again today. Love, love, and love. That's what it's all about. Let us pray. God of love, we give you so much thanks that you continue to give us grace, that you continue to give us good gifts, gifts that keep on giving, those gifts of love, those gifts of healing, those gifts of forgiveness. Lord, may we be filled with your love, with those gifts, so that we might be able to catch people, that we might be able to share this good news with others. May your Spirit work and move through us. We pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen. Friends, thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you have a great rest of your week and a wonderful weekend. I hope to see you Sunday. And as always, may you always know you are loved and you are enough. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.